Now let us see about the placental hormones. The placenta is a tissue that joins the embryo to the wall of the mother's uterus through which nutrients and waste materials are exchanged. I told that after the fertilization, the ovum is becoming the zygote and it is developing into the embryo, and the embryo is getting attached to the wall of the uterus, and it is establishing a physiological connection with the maternal body. So for the development of the embryo, nutrients are to be obtained from the mother's body, and the waste materials from the body of the embryo has to be removed, and this processes, that is exchange of nutrients and the waste materials, is taking place through a specialized tissue that is formed in between the that is establishing a connection between the mother's body and the fetus or the embryo, and this specialized tissue is called the placenta. And the placenta, in addition to functioning as a specialized organ for the exchange of waste materials and the nutrients, the placenta is also functioning like an endocrine gland. It is producing the female sex hormones estrogen, progesterone, then chorionic gonadotropin, placental lactogen, and relaxin. So these are the 5 female sex hormones produced by the placenta. The estrogen and the progesterone, they are essential for the maintenance of pregnancy. Then chorionic gonadotropin, they are this is the hormone which is essential for the maintenance of corpus luteum during pregnancy. The progesterone, it is the major amount of progesterone is produced by the corpus luteum that we have seen in the previous slide. The corpus luteum that is formed after the release of the ovum, it is an endocrine gland, it is producing the progesterone, and the major amount of progesterone is produced by the corpus luteum, and in addition to that the placenta is also producing the hormone progesterone. But since the major amount of progesterone is produced by corpus luteum, this corpus luteum has to be maintained during pregnancy, throughout pregnancy, for the maintenance of embryo, the fetus inside the uterus, and for that chorionic gonadotropin is produced. So the function of chorionic gonadotropin is maintenance of corpus luteum during pregnancy. It is prevented from undergoing degeneration. Normally, if there is no pregnancy, the corpus luteum will degenerate, and if pregnancy occurs, this corpus luteum has to be maintained, and it is done by the hormone chorionic gonadotropin produced by the placenta. And the next hormone produced by placenta is the placental lactogen. This placental lactogen, it is promoting the growth of mammary glands, and it initiates and maintains the secretion of milk after the delivery of the child. So placental lactogen is the hormone which is concerned with lactation. Then the next hormone is relaxin. During childbirth, the pelvic ligaments has to be relaxed in order to push the child outside from the mother's body, and the hormone relaxin is causing the relaxation of pelvic ligaments, and it is the hormone produced by placenta. So these are the 5 female sex hormones produced by placenta, that is estrogen, progesterone, chorionic gonadotropin, placental lactogen, and relaxin. Then the next endocrine gland is thymus. Thymus is located in the upper anterior portion of the chest cavity, just behind the sternum. It is here, you can see it is present between, it is located between the 2 lungs and on top of the heart. So it is present in the space in between the lungs on top of the heart, and it is present in the chest cavity. This thymus gland, it is a bilobed gland, and this thymus gland is a bilobed gland, and it is comprised of lymphoid tissue. And this thymus gland, the function of thymus gland is to establish the immune system during childhood. And thymus gland is producing a hormone called thymosin. Thymus gland is producing a hormone called thymosin, and this thymosin is essential for the maturation of T cells or the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are the cells in the immune system, and these cells, they are responsible for protecting our body against invading pathogens. So that is how thymosin hormone is helping in the establishment of the immune system. And this thymus gland, it is functional only during childhood stage, and once a person attains puberty, the thymus gland undergoes degeneration and it atrophies and disappears. Then the next endocrine gland is the pineal body. Pineal body, it is also called pineal gland or the epiphysis, and it is located near the center of the brain between the two hemispheres. You know that our brain is having two hemispheres, two cerebral hemispheres, and this pineal gland is located in between the two cerebral hemispheres near the center of the brain. Here you can see the pineal gland or the epiphysis, and this pineal gland is producing the hormone called melatonin, and it is a derivative of the amino acid tryptophan. And the production of this pineal gland is stimulated by darkness. That is, the pineal gland is producing the melatonin hormone during night, and the secretion of this melatonin hormone is inhibited by light. During daylight, the melatonin hormone secretion decreases. So this hormone is actually responsible for the day-night periodicity or the diurnal periodicity in our day-to-day life. You know that we wake up in the morning and we go to sleep in the night, and all our diurnal activities are regulated like that. So this diurnal periodicity is because of this melatonin hormone produced by the pineal gland. And another function of melatonin hormone is regulation of reproductive functions. Reproductive functions in the body are regulated by the pineal gland. And the pineal gland or the hormone melatonin that is produced by the pineal gland, it inhibits ovarian function and delays sexual maturity. You know that during childhood stage there is no reproductive function, and the reproductive function starts only after puberty or only after the person attains maturity, sexual maturity. And during childhood stage the reproductive function is inhibited because of the melatonin hormone, and the sexual maturity is delayed so that it is actually providing enough time for the body to grow and develop, and only after that the sexual maturity or the puberty occurs. So the pineal gland produces the melatonin hormone, and this melatonin hormone is delaying the sexual maturity during childhood stage. Then the heart. You know that heart is the organ which is concerned with the pumping of blood through the blood vessels, and the heart is also having an endocrine function. There are specialized cells in the wall of the atrium of the heart. Atria are the upper two chambers of the heart, and the wall of the atria, they have specialized cells, and they produce a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide. Atrial natriuretic peptide or atriopeptin, and this hormone promotes the secretion of sodium, excretion of sodium by the kidneys. Then it lowers the blood pressure and inhibits the secretion of aldosterone by the adrenal cortex. You know that the aldosterone is the hormone produced by the adrenal cortex, and it is concerned with the reabsorption of sodium ions. So when there is an excess amount of sodium that is retained in the blood, it will affect the heartbeat, and in order to save the heart, the excess sodium ions are to be excreted. So that is the function of atriopeptin. Atriopeptin is causing the excretion of excess sodium ions by the kidneys, and it is actually inhibiting the secretion of aldosterone by the adrenal cortex. So these two hormones, aldosterone and atriopeptin, they are antagonistic in function. Then the gastrointestinal hormones. There are several endocrine glands which are scattered in the mucosal epithelium of the stomach and the small intestine. These endocrine cells, they secrete different gastrointestinal hormones, and these include secretin, cholecystokinin, gastrin, pancreozymin, motilin, etc. And the function of these gastrointestinal hormone is to regulate the secretion of enzymes, electrolytes, and water. You know that the pancreas is producing certain hormones, the stomach is producing, the pancreas is producing certain digestive enzymes, the stomach is also producing certain digestive enzymes, the small intestine cells are producing certain certain digestive enzymes, and the bile is the bile that is secreted by the liver is containing certain electrolytes. The pancreatic secretion is also containing certain electrolytes, which is concerned with the pH regulation. And the secretion of all these enzymes, electrolytes and water is controlled by the gastrointestinal hormones. The food has to move through the gastrointestinal tract in order to undergo digestion. And the movement of the food through the gastrointestinal tract is caused by the peristaltic movement of the gastrointestinal wall. And this gastrointestinal motility is also regulated by the gastrointestinal hormones. So that is about the endocrine glands and the hormones. So with that we finish the different endocrine glands and the hormones and the functions of these hormones. Thank you.